Hello everyone and welcome to the WCG for match 6 of the 2021 Australia Day T20 Big Bash, which sees the defending and two-time champions Nice Gary taking on a rejuvenated and highly fancied Puffin Billy'S outfit who get their tournament underway in Group B. A win for the defending champions will see them finish top of the pile. However, the Puffin Billy'S are expected to put up a sterner test than what 60 Grit were able to muster in the opening contest of this group. So as we take a look at the standings here in Group B, it is the defending champions sitting pretty at the summit after their opening match drubbing of last year's quarterfinalist 60 Grit, who are now rooted to the bottom of the table as a consequence. And it's now time for the Puffin Billy'S to have their say in this group. Both captains are in the middle, ready for the toss.
Flat or heels? Yeah, heels, mate. Skipper, welcome to heels.
Heels is the call. It's a heel.
Heels. We'll have a bowl.
They're going to have a bowl first. Nice Gary to open. So it's Puffin Billy'S skipper Joe Severa who wins the toss, and they have sent Nice Gary into bat. As we take a look at the Puffin Billy'S lineup for this year's tournament, they make one change from the side that was eliminated in last year's group stage. The side will be captained by Joe Severa once again, as he is joined by his right-hand man Joseph Azar, as both make their second appearance at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. And the side will be rounded out by Nathan Maslow, who makes his full WCG debut in this year's tournament. As we take a look at Nice Gary's lineup, they made little work of last year's quarterfinalist 60 Grit in their opening contest, prevailing by 3 wickets and picking up a bonus point in the process to send a clear message to the rest of the tournament that they are here to defend their crown. Dean and Bowling picking up a wicket each in that match, with Bowling also producing a brilliant run out and Dean remaining not out with the bat to complete a drubbing first up. Before we get underway, we'd like to thank our tournament partners for this year's competition, Campbelltown Motor Options, who have been fantastic since jumping on board this year, and our ever-reliable and long-standing partners, Harley Cranes Group. A stern test expected here for the defending champs, and we're ready to go. So it will be Harry Dean who will get this innings underway for the men in blue, guided his side home comfortably against 60 Grit in their opening contest. Can he get the defending champions off to the ideal start in this one? So we're all set to go for this huge contest in Group B. It'll be Nathan Maslow to bowl over the wicket to Harry Dean. Here is in now the big fella, and he begins with a short delivery. Well, this one slides down the leg side, and the Puffin Billy'S begin with a wide. So the radar just slightly off there for the big fella, but exciting signs as that one had plenty of carry through to the keeper. Here is Maslow, will continue again now to Dean. This one's another back of a length delivery, and Dean nudges this on the onside and will move through for a single. So not the worst start to your WCG career there from Nathan Maslow. Showing plenty of early signs here, but also another good busy start here from Dean, who's off the mark once again. Here is Maslow to go around the wicket now. This one's another back of a length delivery, and this one hurried Dean. I think this one caught him on the glove, and it crashes into the fence as Dean moves through for another single. Well, this is a brute of a delivery there from Maslow, but it's well played in the end there from Dean, you'd have to say. So a good contest this in the early stages, as Maslow will continue around the wicket here to Dean. It's played on the onside and it's fielded there by Severi, who looked like he was looking to stick a boot out, and then at the last minute puts the big hand down and stops a boundary. It's well done by the skipper. Nice Gary, no wicket for 3. Maslow will continue around the wicket in the opening over. As in now, this one's another back of a length delivery, and I think this one hits Dean on the thigh. Yeah, it has, as he moves through for a leg by. So that's another one to the Nice Gary total. No wicket for 4 as we arrive at the final delivery of the over. It's been a pretty handy start here from Maslow, as he'll continue around the wicket now. Yeah, and this one's a fuller delivery, and it's a wild flash outside the off stump there from Dean. So that's the first one pitched up there from Maslow, and he nearly got the wicket there. No wicket for 4 after 1. It'll be the skipper, Joe Severi, to bowl the second over of the innings. He's in now around the wicket here to Dean, and this one pops up back to him. And that's that. Well, is that a drop catch? Well, we'll have a look here on the replay. Was it a bump ball? No, it's come right off the face. So this was a chance for the Puffin Billy'S to remove the dangerous Dean, and it goes begging. So perhaps a let off there for Harry Dean, as the skipper will continue around the wicket now. And this one's a back of a length delivery, and it seems like Harry Dean was walking there at Severi, And it's a plain miss outside the off stump. So it's a loose stroke there from Dean, who's looking to get things moving. No wicket for 4 into the second over. As Ferry will continue around the wicket. This one's a full-on delivery, and Dean goes bang down the ground for the first maximum of the contest. It was just slightly over-pitched here from the Puffin Billy's skipper, and Dean has got all of that as he puts it away. Ferry to continue around the wicket here to Dean in the second over. Who's in now? This one's a back of a length delivery, but it slides down the leg side, and that'll have to be called a wide. So nice Gary, no wicket for 11 with 1 ball remaining here in this second over. So both sides will be reasonably pleased with where things are at. As Ferry continues around the wicket, this one's a full delivery right in the block hole, and Dean jams down on it and moves through for a single to end the over. So it's been a pretty even contest in these first 2 overs of the match. Nice Gary, no wicket for 12, with Harry Dean unbeaten on 9. So things are set up nicely as we move into the back end of the innings. It's going to be Joseph Azar to bowl the 3rd over of the innings, as he too will go around the wicket here to Dean, and it begins with a good length delivery, and Dean punches that down the ground, but it's fielded there by Maslow for a priceless dot to begin with. So this has been a good start to the tournament here from the Billies. As Azar will go back over the wicket now. This one's a full delivery as Dean advances, and he's able to get this away for a much needed boundary. Well, I think he's hit this into the turf. Yeah, it has, as it lobs over the skipper. The second boundary of the innings. Dean has moved into double figures, as Azar will go back around the wicket now, and it's a wild swing outside the off stump there from Dean, who doesn't connect. So it's a priceless dot there for the Billies. So nice Gary, no wicket for 16 as we arrive at the penultimate delivery of the over. Azar is in again here to Dean, and he advances and hammers this down the ground for his second maximum of the match. Dean starting to get going here in match 6. No wicket for 22. So we arrive at the final delivery of the 3rd over. Azar in around the wicket once again. This one's a full delivery. Oh, but he's hit it straight to the skipper, who takes the catch. Well, there's a question mark of no ball, but the umpire has let this go. Dean has to go for a well-played 19. I think that delivery might have been okay. Azar's worst delivery of the over gets the rewards for the Puffin Billy's. 1 for 22 after 3. So the Puffin Billy's won't mind where this match stands as we enter the final over of the innings. And that wicket now brings George Pineros, the skipper, to the crease. He's had a lean trot with the bat in recent times. He's got 5 deliveries to get his side up towards that 30 mark. So it's going to be Nathan Maslow to bowl the final over of the innings. Here's in now, and he begins with a full toss, and Pineros plays that down the ground, but he moves well to his right, does the big fella, to stop the boundary. So he begins with a dot here, this Maslow, as he continue again now to Pineros, and Pineros got a bit of bat here through to the keeper. Here the umpire said not out. Well, it definitely looked like a bit of bat here. Well, it might have been off the glove now, but it's bounced short. Good decision. So a brilliant start to this final over here from Maslow. As you continue again now to Pineros. Pineros gets a thick inside edge onto the fence, but it'll only be a single. So 2 dots and a single here to begin the final over here from Maslow and the Puffin Billy's. Nice Gary, 1 for 23 with 2 deliveries left in this innings. Can the skipper find the boundary here at the death? Here's Maslow is in once again. This one's a short delivery, and it's a wild swing there from the captain. And if he'd made contact with that, that would have ended up in orbit. So just 1 run so far of this final over. As Maslow is in for the final delivery of the innings. Here's this one's a full delivery, and it's another wild swing from Pineros, who doesn't make contact. So it's been a brilliant effort with the ball to restrict the champions to just 23. And the Puffin Billy's will be dreaming of an upset. So a brilliant final over with the ball from Nathan Maslow has restricted the defending champions to 1 for 23 off their 20 deliveries. Harry Dean top scoring with 19. Joseph Azar picking up the solitary wicket, finishing with 1 for 10 off his 1 over. And it's 24 to get for the Puffin Billy's to hand Nice Gary their first defeat in this tournament in 2 years. So it's going to be Joseph Azar who will get this run chase underway for the Puffin Billy's. He amassed 46 runs in 2 digs in last year's tournament, and he's been entrusted to get the Puffin Billy's off to the ideal start. So 24 to get here for the Puffin Billy's. It's going to be the skipper George Pineros to bowl the first over of the innings. Here he begins with a back of a length delivery, and it's nudge on the offside as he takes Harry Dean on, and it was a cheeky flick back towards the stumps, and this looks like it would have been close. Well, it's a positive start there from Azar, who scoots through, It's a great bit of fielding there from Dean. Oh, and he was gone with a direct hit, but he survives. Paneros to continue to Azar in the opening over. He's in now around the wicket. This is a back of a length delivery, and it's a swing outside the off stump there from Azar, and he's asking for a wide here from the umpire, but it's not forthcoming. Yeah, that did look like a tight call from this angle, but it has gone to defending champions' way on this occasion. So the Puffin Billy's no wicket for one here in this run chase. Azar is a key wicket here at the top of the order. As Paneros will continue again now around the wicket. This one's a short delivery wide outside the off stump, and Azar gets his way for the first boundary of the run chase. It's set up nicely there for the Puffin Billy's opener, and he says thank you very much. Puffin Billy's no wicket for 5. Paneros will continue around the wicket once again, and this one's a short wide delivery outside the off stump, and it's been called just that by the umpire. So perhaps the nice Gary skipper just feeling the pinch here in the opening over. 18 to get from 17 deliveries here for the Puffin Billy's. As Paneros will continue around the wicket here in the opening over. This one's a back of a length delivery, and Azar gets the top edge through to the keeper. So that's a massive wicket there for nice Gary. So just as Azar looked like he was warming up, this one got a bit big on him, and he gets an edge through to the keeper. And that's a big moment there for the men in blue. The Puffin Billy's 1 for 6 here in the opening over. As that wicket will now bring the skipper, Joe Severi, to the crease. Scores of 0 and 12 in last year's edition. Can he guide his side towards the total? So it'll be George Paneros to continue around the wicket to Severi for his first delivery. Here he's in now, and this one's a full delivery, but he's pushed this down the leg side, and that'll have to be re-bowled. So it's been a mixed bag here in this opening over from the nice Gary skipper, but they have got the big wicket of Joey Azar. So the Puffin Billy's 1 for 7 with 1 delivery left in the opening over. Here is Paneros is into Severi, and it's a back of a length delivery, and Severi is solid to end with. 1 for 7. It's going to be Josh bowling to bowl the second over of the innings. And he's in now around the wicket to Severi, and he begins with a full delivery, and Severi hammers this on the onside for a maximum. So a pretty handy way to get off the mark here for the Puffin Billy skipper. 1 for 13. So bowling under the pump here from ball 1. As he'll continue around the wicket now to Severi, and he pulls this one back, and Severi plays it on the offside, but he can't beat Dean there at cover. He'll be disappointed with that, the skipper. That was there for the taking. Here his bowling will continue around the wicket now to the Puffin Billy skipper. He's in now, and that one's a good length delivery, and it's a wild swing there from Severi. So bowling is pulling this back nicely after going for a Zach first delivery. It's 11 to get off 12 deliveries here for the Puffin Billies. So they're exactly where they need to be at this stage of the innings. As bowling serves up a full toss and played away on the leg side. And I think that's a brilliant bit of fielding there from the nice Gary skipper, who has prevented a boundary. Here Severi plays this off the fence. Here as he dives away to his right. Oh, and he's let it go before it hits the boundary. That's brilliant work. So bowling is in for the final ball of the over. Here he's in now around the wicket. It's a full delivery, and this one hits Severi on the leg. And he's going to move through for a leg bye to end with. So the Puffin Billy's 1 for 15 after 2. So the match is on a knife's edge as we enter the back end of the contest. The Puffin Billy's required 9 off 10 deliveries with 2 wickets in hand. So they might be marginal favourites here at this point. And it will be Harry Dean who will bowl the third over of this innings. He's in now around the wicket to Severi, and he begins with a fast full delivery which goes straight through the Puffin Billy skipper. That is just what the doctor ordered for the men in blue. Dean gets the breakthrough. It's 2 for 15. Well, you wonder why Dean has been held back for so long, but he gets the wicket with his first delivery of the match, and that now brings Nathan Maslow to the crease, the last man in for the Puffin Billies. Can he guide his side to a famous victory? It's a runner ball required as Dean will continue to Maslow in the third over. Here he's in now, this one's a fast full delivery, and Maslow gets an inside edge onto his leg and will move through for a single to get off the mark. So good from the debutant who inches his side closer and gets his first ever run at the WCG in the process. 8 to get off 8 deliveries as Dean will continue around the wicket here to Maslow, and he serves up a full toss, and Maslow drives it down the ground for a massive boundary. The Puffin Billies are just 1 hit away now from a famous victory. 4 to get off 7 deliveries. Nice Gary just 1 wicket away as Dean continues around the wicket here to Maslow, and it was a quick delivery outside the off stump, and Maslow decides to leave it alone. So he's just got 1 delivery left to see out here from this Dean over. The men in blue just 1 moment away here from victory. As Dean is in for the final ball of the over. It's a full delivery, and Harry Dean has done it. He's knocked him over to win the match for Nice Gary. They just find a way, do the champions. They always find a way. The decision to hold Dean back has proved a masterstroke from the skipper as they sneak home in a thriller to book their place in the quarterfinals. So in quite an amazing contest here in match 6, the defending champions Nice Gary sneak home by 3 runs to seal top spot in Group B and book their place in this year's quarterfinals. It was a valiant effort from the Puffin Billy's, who were oh so close to pulling off a famous victory, but one gets the feeling you haven't seen the last of them in this tournament. So as we take a look at where the group stands after 2 matches, it's the defending champion sitting pretty at the top of Group B, and that is where they will remain. And it now means we have a crunch match to round out the group. The quarterfinals have come early for the Puffin Billy's in 60 grit, who will meet for a winner-takes-all contest in the final match of Group B. So it's shaping up to be an exciting final round of matches. So as we look ahead to the next match of the tournament, it's the Saggy Greens looking to seal top spot in Group C as they take on a much improved WCG Babes in match 7 as the ladies get their tournament underway. We've reached the halfway mark of the group stage and there's plenty more drama to come.